Qualquer horror que você encontre nesses espaços escuros tem um coração e veja entre eles. Não tem finais prematuros, não tem decisões erradas. Só tem perspectivas novas e novos começos. Isso é uma história de amor. Eita. Fala galera, como é que vocês estão? Eu sou um simples gamer e sejam bem-vindos a Slay the Princess. Esse é um jogo que uma amiga da escola me recomendou recentemente para jogar aqui no canal. E se ela estiver assistindo, valeu pela recomendação, abraço. E pelo que eu vi, é tipo um jogo que as suas escolhas importam. Pelo que eu vi, tem vários finais. E tirando isso, eu não sei de nada. A minha amiga falou sobre esse jogo hoje e eu baixei. E hoje eu também não sei de nada desse jogo, além do fato que tem vários finais. E sobre isso eu acho que eu vou tentar ter uns 2 ou 3 algo do tipo, para o vídeo não ficar muito longo, porque eu acho que vocês já estão cansados de vídeo de meia hora. Mas enfim, esse jogo parece interessante, então bora dar uma olhada, né? Ok, Start Game. Capítulo 1, o herói e a princesa.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Véi, eu tenho que matar a princesa, senão o mundo vai acabar. Aí fudeu. Véi, então, o fim do mundo, do que você tá falando? Você considera que a razão que ela vai acabar com o mundo é porque ela tá trancada? A tua Meu Deus, tem muita escolha. Tá, deixa eu ver esse aqui. Tá, eu acho que eu vou com essa. O fim do mundo? Do que você está falando?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Tá, ok. Eu vou com essa. Se você não falar porque é perigosa, eu não vou matar ela.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will, unless you do something about it.
Tá, deixa eu ver aqui. Tá, eu vou com... Aqui, você tem alguma evidência pra provar isso?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Tá, vou com essa. Ok. O que acontece se ela sair? Eu quero específicos.
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her, because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Tudo vai dar ruim. Tem muita opção. Tá, sei lá. Eu consigo como recompensa por fazer isso?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Matar ela antes que você consiga. Eita, isso tá ficando complicado. Tá, eu vou com... Tá, essa. Tá bom, tô convencido. Vamos fazer isso logo.
Good. As long as you remain focused on your goal, it should all be smooth sailing.
Vai tudo ir bem.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
A gente vai fazer isso, vamos? Tipo, ela é uma princesa, a gente tem que salvar as princesas, não matar elas.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking
Ignore
about.
Ele não sabe o que ele tá falando. Eu não vou contar. E para que tô gostando da arte do desenho, hein? Bem feito.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Ela é realmente um perigo pra esse mundo. Ó, cara, não se ganhe pela beleza. Só porque é uma pessoa bonita não quer dizer que ela é boa. Sim, é porque as pessoas bonitas que podem fazer merda. Sei lá, cara, só vamos cumprir logo.
Focus on the task at hand.
Foquem na tarefa.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Tá. O quê? Sem chance. Por que você acha que eu ia fazer isso?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
Segurando meio que mostra isso, né? E é verdade.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point?
A faca, é claro que ela não
We
quer
should
falar.
drop it.
Quem poderia ter uma conversa com uma faca na mão? Eu deveria...
Don't you dare.
Não faz isso.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Não é muito coisa que a gente faz. Se a pessoa for um assassino que mata pessoas e que pode acabar com o mundo, talvez seja uma boa ideia. Meu Deus, isso foi pesado, desculpa. Tá. Tá, eu vou largar e depois eu vou ver o que acontece se eu segurar ela.
The blade tumbles out from trembling hands and drops to the floor with unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. We're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Aqui é distante. Que começo envergonhoso para o relacionamento. Só você me leva pra jantar primeiro. Mentira, sai fora. Eu vou com... Tá, vou com essa. O que eu devo fazer pra tirar tudo daí?
You can't. Don't
Você
bother.
não pode, não pense nisso.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't...
Eu tô achando que tem uma chave aqui. E se realmente não tem?
Well, we can always put that knife to good
Aí
use.
pode ser aquela faca para um bom uso.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of
Os
the
olhos afiados
blade.
dela focam na faca.
She isn't suggesting what I
Ela não tá
think
sugerindo o que eu tô
she's
sugerindo,
suggesting.
né?
She is. I'm sure of
Tá,
it.
tenho certeza disso. Tá, vou perguntar quanto tempo ele tá aqui.
Too long.
Tempo demais.
Note the lack of detail. You can't
Olha a
trust
falta de
her.
detail, você não pode confiar nela. Tô vendo. Qual é seu nome?
She hesitates before
Ela
answering.
hesita de responder.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness,
Você pode
or Her Majesty.
chamar como sua
Any honorific should
majestade,
do, really.
como sua princesa, dona, sei lá o que, sua majestade. Qualquer apelido que me honre vai servir. Beleza. Eu, hein? Ai, tem como salvar? Só agora você tem como salvar. Boa, João, boa.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of
Você
her.
nunca ficou de uma resposta dela. Tá, eu vou com essa. Tem pessoas aqui achando que você vai causar o fim do mundo. O que você tem a dizer sobre isso?
Don't just tell her that.
Não só fale... Tá, você me chato.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world.
Eu não,
I
mas eu
think.
não quero machucar alguém. Eu gosto do mundo. Eu acho... Opa! Agora, tu acha? Minha amiga, se tu causar o fim do mundo, todo mundo vai morrer.
I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
Lembro muito
I've been
sobre
down
isso.
here a long
Eu estive
time.
aqui faz um tempo.
Just how long has she been down
Há quanto
here?
tempo ele esteve aqui?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a
Numa
wall?
parede?
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so
Eu te falar porque eu
dangerous?
sou tão perigosa, entre aspas. Não, mas eu tenho certeza que a gente vai cortar dele para ter essa informação secreta de mim.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Obrigado pelo voto de confiança.
What if they're bad reasons,
Mas sabe o que
though?
foi?
If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave.
Eu não quero sair daqui. Aham, sei, com certeza.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
Sobre nós, está acontecendo aqui é sobre confiança.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Ser perigo pro mundo, mas eles não te explicaram o porquê.
That doesn't sound right to
Isso
me.
não parece certo pra ela.
And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
Está se matando ao invés de falar. É, bom ponto.
She has a point.
Ele tem ponto.
There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've
Tem uma razão que
listened.
você deveria ter ouvido.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
Ou que eu fiz algumas coisas boas que você adoraria ouvir.
But you don't really know me, do
Mas
you?
não sabe muito de
What
mim.
can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Vale a pena uma situação como essa.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth
A palavra
anything.
dela não vale nada.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person. The subjugating monarch, no less.
A gente pode acabar perdendo tudo só por causa de uma pessoa. E uma pessoa que é um tipo monarca. Tá, eu acho. Tá, eu vou nesse. Ok, acho que já falamos bastante.
Oh, have you decided what to do
Você
with
decidiu o
me?
que vai fazer comigo? Ah,
You know why you're
você
here.
sabe por que está aqui. Tá. Dune, vai.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Você vai em cima da princesa com faca na sua mão, você já perdeu a batalha. Quê?
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Acaba com tu antes de jogar ela pro chão com um simples soco da
You
sua
shouldn't
mão.
have hesitated.
A gente não devia ter segurado.
But she doesn't stop there.
Mas ela
She
não
kicks
para.
you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay.
Você quebrar, tem certeza que você tá no chão.
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor. The princess kneels with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand. And now look at you.
Agora é pra você. Ei, você tá tentando comer, sabe? Por tentar ver se ela é tão manipuladora assim. Ela é.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you, completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Capítulo 2, a torre. Tem mais?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end you're here to slay her.
É a mesma coisa. Ué, calma aí. Eu tô tendo senso estranho de déjà vu.
A terrible sense of déjà vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Tô jogando, o pessoal acha a minha mãe que invadiu aqui. Enfim, senso estranho de déjà vu? Não, você não tem isso. Essa é a primeira vez que nós dois estivemos aqui.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Se você continua ao tempo todo se questionando. Isso é mais déjà vu. Eu tenho certeza que a situação toda já aconteceu.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
A gente acabou de conhecer, eu e tu. Tá, vamos assumir que eu tô falando a verdade e se tudo realmente aconteceu. Por que eu poderia ouvir pra você? Por que eu poderia fazer qualquer coisa?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you
Eu
moving.
vou responder se isso te deixa movendo.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
Pelo menos uma versão de mim.
You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die.
Quebrar todo o nosso corpo antes de nos deixar morrer.
What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now?
Devia ter feito pra parar ela agora. O que a gente devia ter feito pra parar ela lá? O que a gente poderia ter feito pra parar ela agora?
She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
Então fica animado, eu acredito em você. Vamos pra cabine. Vamos acabar com ela logo.
A warning. Before you go in, she will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
Cara, ele acabou de morrer e voltou do nada.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
Se ela está presa por motivos... A gente poderia salvar ela, mas se você falar a verdade, a gente poderia só dar mundo da chique.
Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Ok, acho que é melhor a gente tirar a tela logo, porque dessa vez nada vai me segurar.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Não fique nas escadas. Vem pra baixo e me veja. Eu acho que eu tomei no cu.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. So if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
Mas em breve o fim chega à sua visão e você entra lá embaixo do vasto templo.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Vidro, só longa pelo em volta dela e legal, tão ferrado. E uma corrente está sobre ela.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
Jogue no chão. Sai fora.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Eu juro que eu... Peraí, o quê?
But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Calma aí. Eu juro que eu botei pra segurar. Não aconteceu. Eu tenho que reportar os fatos com fatos. O fato que você jogou a faca pra longe.
Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out.
Kneel.
Fique no chão. Fique no chão. Não.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me.
Pai, tô gravando, pai. Tá, eu posso sentir o seu verdadeiro acordar.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for alterations.
Agora o mundo vai ter alterações.
It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson.
Você tinha aprendido uma lição valiosa. Sim, nunca tentar fazer algo só para tentar voltar para o outro final e no final você não conseguir voltar para o outro final. Valeu.
You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay. First things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done.
Olha pra ele. Ela literalmente foi identificada no chão com a mão dela. Como é que a gente vai matar ela?
The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. If you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
Tá, deixa eu citar isso aqui. Só porque eu sei que vai acabar com o mundo, não quer dizer que você tem que fazer. Você pode ser qualquer coisa que tu quiser.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
Eu não vou falar. Eu não vou te ajudar a acabar com o mundo. Eu não importa se alguma coisa nova acontecer depois disso. Eu não vou deixar você fazer isso. Vamos fazer isso.
I say,
Eu entendi.
perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
Se mostrar para os seus melhores. Okay?
Pick up that needle.
Pegue aquela agulha.
Do it. It's what she... No objections here.
Que? Sem objeção.
Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Ah, não. Tem que ter outra escolha. Merda. Fazer o quê, né?
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so... Okay, yeah.
Tá, a gente pode fazer.
We can do that.
A gente provavelmente ia ficar em pé
We
de
will
qualquer jeito.
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come, dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves. Step. Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her. Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to It's what she wants. You heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop them from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. The blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and organ. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the net. Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscles in the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. But influence only goes so far. I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late. No!
No.
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, dart into her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from you. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Capítulo 3, a Fúria. Ainda não acabou.
Your on a path in the woods.
Você está num
At
caminho
the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is
O que é
that?
isso? Alguém chorando.
I think he's upset.
Eu acho que ele tá triste.
What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a
gente acabou de
god.
matar Deus. Exatamente. Você
Heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was.
Damn right we did. And you'll get over it.
Ainda bem que a gente fez. Você vai esquecer.
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us. You almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path. If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it? This is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have. This is all different.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now? Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods. If reality seems distorted, it's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously. Don't worry. We only need this one last go like this. You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop. Why? Good, we're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. Enter. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard. That's fine by me. Let's get moving. I'm itching for a rematch.
Vamos lá, tô querendo uma revanche.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to. Take the blade from the pedestal. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? The door? The mirror. What are you talking about? You're standing in front of a door. Whatever non-door thing you think you're looking at, it isn't real, because if it were real, I'd know about it. But it has to be real. It's right there.
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Now with him.
Smash it. Let's
Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
Why?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. We're going to put an end to her once and for all.
She's an abomination.
She was going to end the world, Master. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in the center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in the tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you. Let her end. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen. Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, we'll do it again. This time, maybe on the other side. Now She's practically done most of the work for us.
Fez a maioria do trabalho pra nós. Mas depois que tiver ela com a frente. Eu vou perder tempo. Vou matar essa merda.
Your heart full of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one.
It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory.
Horrifying squelch. You are unwound.
Com o som para o que você está... deixa em pedacinhos.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
Verdade, você não vai morrer pela mão dela. Algo fez ela ir embora. Deixou algo no lugar dela.
She's gone.
Ela foi embora.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror. Why is it here? Why now?
Por que agora? Vamos olhar.
I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels...
Tá falando pra ele pelo amigo porque eu não fiz nada. É diferente agora. Isso faz sentido. Eu não sei.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
I don't want to look at
Eu
us.
não quero olhar pra nós mesmo. Você chega pra aqui.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess. I don't want to look at us.
Agora. Daqui pra mostrar uma questão. Isso vai continuar também. Ele tem boia, mas o tempo continua. Eu acho que você deve estar nele. É você. O quê? Você está sozinho no lugar que está vazio. É quieto aqui. E para a cabine. Você está na cabine. E aí, princesa? Você está capaz.
Something finds me
Algo me
in
encontra
the
nesse
quiet
com esse
and
longo
brings me the
quieto e me
gift
dá
of a fragile
presente de
vessel.
algo frágil. Tá, se eu vou perguntar uma coisa. O que é você?
I am solitary
Eu
lights in
sou
an
luz
empty
solitária de uma
city.
cidade
What are
vazia.
you?
O que é você? Eu sou uma pessoa.
A person.
Uma pessoa.
A set of eyes witnessing
Grupo de
from one
olhos vendo de outra
perspective.
perspectiva.
I think
Eu
that
acho
you
que
are
você
more
é
like me than you are
mais
like a
igual eu do que
person.
como uma pessoa.
We are oceans, reduced
Nós
to
somos
shallow
oceanos
creeks.
divididos a pedaços pequenos. Eu não quero saber. Você já causou caos suficiente e agora... Tchau, tchau. Você vai na entidade objetiva semana que acontece.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your
Você
sight.
está no oceano
We cannot
quase
harm
seu
each
não.
other as
Você
we
pode
are
machucar
now.
enquanto ser o que é agora. Ok, eu tenho que perguntar. O que acontece agora?
Nothing,
Nada.
as we are.
É o que a gente é.
But I know
Mas
that there are
existem
worlds
mundos
beyond
além de
us,
nós,
and that
que a
we
gente
are
tem
meant
que
to
ir
reach
contra
them.
eles.
There is no
Não tem
exit,
saída.
but this
Vai ter
vessel is a
lugar, vai ter
creature of
luz.
perception.
Ela pode
She
fazer
can make you
isso.
forget, if only
Se
you
você
believe her
está
to be able
capaz de
to. Bring me more
Isso é mais
perspectives,
perspectivas.
so that I may be whole,
Depois eu posso inteira.
and perhaps then we
A
will
gente
know
pode
our
fazer a
freedom.
liberdade. Tá. O quanto eu vou esquecer?
Everything,
Tudo.
until we meet
Você
again.
se encontre de novo. Tá, vamos aqui. Quantas variedades de você eu tenho que encontrar?
More than you have
Mais você
found.
tem encontrado.
But less
mais
than
vezes
there are
você
to
vai
find.
encontrar. Eu sou
I am
E
infinite.
o resto vai achar o
The
seu
rest
próprio
will
caminho
find
pra
their
casa.
own way home.
Como assim?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow,
interminável, seco, sei lá. Não tô... Tá, eu fui mandado para matar uma princesa para destruir o mundo. Se eu te ajudar, é isso que você vai fazer?
You ask of things that cannot be done.
Você perde a
To destroy is merely to reshape,
mudar o
to
shape
remold.
de reconsertar. Você está sendo mágica. O que você vai fazer se eu ajudar você?
How can I know?
Como posso saber?
I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Tá, eu acho que eu vou no... Me faz esquecer.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Ela peça para que eu te conte para lembrar dela.
You won't.
Tudo vai escuro e você morre. É isso? Acabou? Voltou pro começo?
You're on a path. You're here to slay her.
Mano, eu não sei mais o que tá acontecendo. O jogo tá extremamente dos melhores jogos que eu joguei. A arte é bonita, os diálogos são bem feitos e aquelas cenas do final com o Gore então estavam muito bem feitos. Mas agora, para terminar com o vídeo com chave de ouro, vamos fazer algo diferente. Eu vou pular essa parte e ver se eu consigo matar ela. Vamos pegar essa aqui. Vamos pegar essa aqui. Vamos acabar com ela de vez.
Who's that?
She said, don't let... Good. You're still listening to reason.
Vamos matar ela de vez.
You walk, she's focused on the task.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll...
Ah, meu amigo, eu vou acabar com isso. Vamos matar essa merda.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Tá basicamente falando que eu senti a carne te dando caminho fácil quando você enfia a faca no seu coração.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
É isso, né?
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes. Even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
É claro que sim, ela tá morta.
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy. This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right?
Tá, deixa eu ver isso aqui. Claro que vamos. Eu gosto daqui. Não, vou aqui. Claro que não. Você tem alguma ideia de como a gente pode sair
I do, but you're probably not got the blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped, the princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pretty. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Okay. Como é que é?
You're on a path you're here to slay her.
Mano, o que tá acontecendo? Eu não sei mais o que tá acontecendo. A princesa nos matou, a gente ficou preso como é que é eterna, e agora a gente tá aqui de novo, a gente matou a princesa de novo. Eu não tô entendendo mais nada. Eu só quero acabar com isso. Vamos sair daqui.
Oh. Do you think there's something else out there? Alright. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than... Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the... Oh, how quaint. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. But fine, you turn around and track back down the path. Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. What's going on? Where are we? I don't know. But it feels like home.
Nada como as pessoas. Encontramos criado mas não vai volta. Ela fica tanto muito bom. Você está fazendo as mãos estão na realidade. As coisas levantam essa consciência assim. As mãos vai ser entendendo. Você está mais sozinho. Conclusão. Esse aqui eu estou indignado. Os vezes vão até a sua alma, distração. Essa coisa cheia de você é útil para mim, sabe? Não estava querendo você me contra a sua vontade. Não, você pode voltar, não. Tá. Não quero, sei lá, arrependimento. Esse mundo é quebrado, esse mundo vai fazer novo. Porque eu tenho tanta coisa para fazer no seu lugar. Não dá ela. É como se eu Não.
Your Honor, you're here.
Não. Ok, esse provavelmente foi um vídeo mais longo do canal e eu acho que esse é o jogo. Então, pelo que entendi, o jogo é infinito. Mas, sinceramente, apesar do jogo ser infinito e ter ficado meio chato depois, realmente é um ótimo jogo. A arte é muito perfeita, esses twists em lugar são muito bons e aquele final da princesa com o gore todo realmente bem chocante. Eu realmente não esperava isso. Mas realmente foi um bom jogo. Eu acho que eu daria um 7 de 10. Muito obrigado por ter assistido. Deixa o like se você curte com os amigos. E a amiga da escola que eu vou falar o nome porque sim. Valeu pela recomendação e tchau.